What's up, guys? Mike here from Swood and Mike G, and in today's video, I'm going to be covering the Zappies versus Hunter challenge. Now, these are two cards that were just released in the most recent update, and honestly, I'm pretty excited about both of them for kind of different reasons, though. For starters, let's start with Zappy. I think the card is kind of interesting. I don't think it's really all that great right now, but I do think with future buffs, the card has a really interesting place in the meta as kind of like a just reset card. I don't know. I think it's really intriguing concept, and I'm curious to see what Supercell does in the future with it. As for Hunter, I think that card is actually really phenomenal, and trust me, there will be some upcoming videos featuring that card. So as you see, we got a cool chest opening right here. We got our 5 Hunters. I'm going to go ahead and donate that Zappy, and we're just going to hop into some of the games. Now, my 12 one was actually relatively easy. I had Expo, and he didn't really have a whole lot of cards to counter it, so that was just a free win. So I'm just going to go over the other ones instead. Starting off with number 11, I believe. Yes, okay. So, in this choice, I'm going to go with Bowler because I just choose to not go with win conditions of the challenge based on how prevalent they are. I'm going to choose Golem over Hog Rider, usually the bigger beatdown wins. Fire Spirits over Ice Spirit. That was one of the more iffy choices, but I know Goblin Barrel is pretty rampant in this challenge, as well as like Archers and Dark Goblin and Princess, stuff like that, so I figured Fire Spirits may have value. So I forgot what my last choice was, but I'm sure it was great. Moving on, that Tesla was a little bad. I did play this as soon as I woke up because I was pretty excited. Set my alarm at 7 a.m. So the gameplay won't be perfect, just letting you guys know in advance. I just want to get this up for you as soon as possible, and you guys can expect quite a few video uploads today. Between this, I have some cool Golem decks, a new Log Bait deck that actually works, as well as Giant Prince, minor control deck with guards. There's quite a lot to expect from me. And Swood also has quite a few videos planned as well. So you guys are in for a treat. So right here, knowing that he's committed so much elixir to the left side of that graveyard, I'm going to go in with a Bowler and just support the Golem push. I actually thought that he might not go for that graveyard push because it's a little risky. I had Dark Goblin in hand, so I felt like I could defend it pretty well. He also arrowed. That was a really good arrows from him. I will give that to him. It was a phenomenal play, and it almost worked. Put my time down to 648. But my push just kind of breaks through. But as you saw there, Hunter put in a lot of work. Hunter actually does a lot of damage to Golem and melts it, in my opinion, faster than almost any other card. Besides like maybe P.E.K.K.A. It just has really high DPS for units that are actually close up to it. And I think that's kind of insane. It's a tank killer in a lot of aspects, kind of like Night Witch used to be. So I think it has a place in Expo as well. So expect that video coming up soon. So I'm going to defend this push in a very interesting way. I'm going to use Zappies and Fire Spirits to kind of take out everything. I think Zappies should be a 3 elixir troop, just straight up. I think like at 3 elixir they'd be a fair card. At 4 elixir, I just don't think they're all that great. But I guess time will tell, and maybe someone will prove me wrong. Here I fucked up again. I should not have played Bowler. I should have 100% played Dark Goblin. I thought maybe I could defend it, but that was really unrealistic considering Graveyard Ice Wizard. It just isn't a really defendable push with just a Bowler and your towers that low. So here I'm going to decide to Inferno Dragon and then Tesla. Tesla to pull the Hog, Inferno Dragon to counter the Hunter, just because you don't want to really deal with Hunter close up. And then I believe I'm also just going to Golem and the Bridge. I might try to Dark Goblin to snipe out the rest of that Hunter since he played the Ice Wizard to tank the Inferno Dragon. That's what I do. He plays Executioner. Knowing he wasted that, I'm going to go ahead and Golem. He's going to Hunter, but in the back, that's not what you want to do. He should have Huntered right on top of it to an angle so that I couldn't get Bowler value on the tower. But that's neither here nor there. He gets a good Ice Spirit in. He's going to now distract with Ice Wizard. He's doing a lot of things right in this, and he defended that pretty well. However, in my opinion, I do have a more favorable matchup, so I'm going to play the Tesla. He's just not going to break through with Hog Rider, and Graveyard in a 1-1 situation just isn't all that ideal, especially when I have Dark Goblin. He has to get the arrows right every single time, and if I can out-predict them or play it in a spot where it's difficult for him to arrow, then I'm in a really good position. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep pushing right here. This deck is relatively aggressive that I ended up drafting, and I know that I just have to continually push with a little bit of chip here and there, just apply a lot of pressure and not allow him to build up big pushes. Because if he builds up big pushes with Graveyard, it'll be hard for me to defend considering I don't really have a lot of Graveyard troops and counters besides Dark Goblin. So I'm really lucky in a sense that he continues to use Hog Rider here. I believe at this point I'm going to just drop Golem at in the center at the pocket like a savage. I have Zappies and Inferno Dragon coming down, so I don't really see a reason not to. He's going to go ahead and Executioner. the Zappies, but they reset onto the golem, which is really nice. I'm going to go ahead and Dark Goblin finish that off. The Infernal Dragon's going to finish off whatever unit that was, and the Knight's going to get melted too. He's going to go ahead and arrow that for a lot of value. I'm pretty much taking out everything. I'm going to bowl out the bridge, because at this point I know the game's over. I just have to really just like kind of recycle to my goal. I know that I can just test the Hog Rider when he drops it. And if I keep up pressure, you won't be able to go for a graveyard. So I'm back to golem now. I'm going to pop it right in the center. Knowing he's going to try to defend it more than likely. If he tries the tower trade, I'm going to throw down the Dark Goblin, and my Fire Spirit's pretty much everything I can possibly defend. He goes with Hunter right into play. I think it's a really good option, because look how fast that Hunter's going to melt the golem. It didn't even get hit on the tower, but it exploded. That was all the damage it needed, and now we're going to move on to the next game. Alright, so our next game is against a guy whose name I cannot pronounce. So I'm definitely going to choose Fire Spirits over Spirit Goblins for once again. It just deals with a lot of the troops in this challenge. Now here, I'm not entirely sure if I like this choice or not. I chose Log over a Lightning, but in hindsight, I definitely should have taken Lightning. I feel like there are a lot of troops that give you Lightning value in this format. It's either really hit or miss, so I knew that Log would get a lot of value no matter what, so I opted for that, but in hindsight, I probably should have taken the Lightning. So in this game, I'm definitely going to get good value out of the Hunter. That's my goal. If he didn't rage there, that would have died all damage, I'm pretty sure. And those Spirit Goblins get a little bit of poking. So right off the bat, I'm up 3 elixir, only 300 damage down, so I'm okay with this. So I Expo, I'm playing on my phone. This is something I'm trying to get used to, just because at live events and stuff, I have to play on a phone if I go on stage, so if I make the top cut. So my unit placement might not be as fleeky as normal. But we break through the Expo. We're going to just whittle them down. This is actually the closer of the 2 Expo decks when I drafted it. So I chose to go with this one because it's not quite as dominant as the other one. He had a lot more counters to Expo than the other guy. The other guy was just kind of out of luck at Hunter and Expo. I think that combination is kind of insane, to be honest. Hunter is one of the best cards in the game to pair with Expo, and I think Expo might see a resurgence in this meta. So I'm going to Hunter the Hog. It's only going to get 1 hit in. That's really big. Hunter plus Ice Spirit countering Hog would be really cool going forward. It's also pretty spell resistant, as Poison doesn't completely kill it, neither does Fireball, so that's kind of nice. I'm kind of curious how well it's going to do against Ice Golem. I guess that won't something I'm going to have to test now that I have the card unlocked. He's going to go ahead and Balloon, and I don't really have a lot of answers here, so I'm going to cycle Fire Spirits, I'm going to cycle Ice Spirit, and then I'm going to cycle Night Witch as fast as possible, just so it gets the bats, and the one bat spawns, gets the Pokin, and that Balloon doesn't get a hit, which is really good, because I'm pretty sure it would have otherwise, although I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to go ahead and Musketeer, predicting him to play something, try to catch it. He plays Musketeer. That's also just a great position in general, because if they don't play anything, that Night Witch is going to get a lot of value, and anything they play is going to walk to the miner, and the Night Witch is going to kill it, so I actually really like that play. The Zappies just was really underwhelming. They're not going to get hit on the tower, they're not really going to defend all that well, and they're just going to feel wasted for 4 elixir. So here I'm just going to play the Fire Spirits, predicting the guards. He doesn't play them, so I'm going to go ahead and Hunter. That's just going to melt right through the Hog, melt through the Spirits, and then it's also going to melt through the guards. I mean, like, this is insane. I'm going to go ahead and Ice Spirit the Balloon just for a few extra hits, and the Hunter is just going to melt the Balloon. Like, look at that, that's insane. No card should get that much value. I'm going to go ahead and log that because I'm only a few logs away. I'm going to go ahead and Night Witch the Hog Rider, and I'm going to play Witch. So I have Miner and Log hit chip damage, and there's 30 seconds left with 321 on his tower, 1156 on mine. I'm going to go ahead and try to Miner, get something through. He plays guards, misses the prediction. And my Witch is just kind of chill there. I don't really know how I was playing Witch. I was trying to get some value out of it, just to see if I could. I'm going to get a really good log here, taking out the shield of the guard, and taking the Zappies to have health. My Witch is just going to try to break through. I'm going to play Fire Spirits because he played Rage to even that up. I have Hunter on the field, and I'm just going to throw a lot of pressure on this left lane because his tower's at 45, and all I have to do is log for game. Alright, and that was the closer of the two, so you can understand why I'm not showing you the 12-1. Alright, so now moving on to the next game. I believe it is against a person whose name I do not recall because I played this challenge at 6 in the morning. That was just like a recap of his deck. It had Bomb Tower in it, so you know it's legit. Alright, so I'm playing against Iranu from Alternate 2. So I'm going to take Poison over Dark Goblin. Obviously, this spell's always better. I'm going to take Balloon over Barrel because if he doesn't have counters, I'm Gucci. I'm going to give him Wizard and take Prince because Prince counters Wizard, and it's a card I can use more versatile. Like if he has a big spell or something. Seeing that I got Poison, I figured he might. So he gave me Lightning, so I have 2 big spells and a Princess and a Prince and Hunter and Balloon. So I'm feeling pretty confident about my deck choice right now. Pretty good going into this. So I believe he starts with the wizard in the back for some reason. I don't really know why. He's going to go ahead and log the princess, that's smart. He's going to go ahead and show off the Inferno Dragon to counter this balloon. And then I believe he's going to go for a barrel after he plays the Spear Goblins. I don't really have a lot for it. I'm not really sure if Hunter counters Goblin Barrel yet. That's something I'm going to have to test. Because I'm going to split Archers on the Wizard and use Hunter on the Inferno Dragon and the Spear Goblins. In hindsight, I think I could have played the Hunter in a slightly different tile. I'm not really sure. I'm still going to have to play around with that and test out his placements. So luckily I have Fire Spirits, that's going to just destroy those goblins. I'm going to throw a Prince on the Dark Goblin, and it's just going to charge. He doesn't really have the elixir to stop it, which is really convenient. Prince also one-shots, I thought it one-shot the Zappies, I'm kind of surprised. But regardless, the Zappies kind of went to work once they started zapping. I don't really know why they have a delayed timer on them. I feel like that's another thing that's holding the card back. So, like, as is, I think 3 elixir would be really fair, but if they remove the timer so they shot instantly, and then maybe put a little more DPS on them, I think they could be really good at 4 elixir as well. But this is something that I think Supercell's going to have to buff, and I think they're also going to have to nerf Hunter. That's just my early guesses on the cards before I've really had time to test them a whole lot. So I'm going to play Hunter in the back since it's only 4 elixir commitment. He's going to Executioner, which is unfortunate because I played Archers to try to help counter the Baby Dragon. However, I get a good Lightning here. And my Hunter even sprays on the Dark Goblin, ensuring it only gets 1 hit. So I played my Fire Spirits there to tank that hit, and then the 1 Fire Spirit's still going to go ahead and hit that tower for some value. However, I wasn't really thinking all that clearly, and I just used my only Goblin Barrel counter. He realizes as he plays Goblin Barrel, he plays Spear Goblins, so I had to do a Lackluster Prince. Luckily, he played it all on the side, so I was able to capitalize on that, and I didn't take too much damage on that tower. So now I have a Prince and Balloon Push. This is pretty good for me. I feel pretty confident on my situation right now, so I'm going to go ahead and play Hunter, knowing he played the Inferno Dragon in that position, and it will retarget onto the Hunter. So the Hunter is going to do its thing. It's going to clear out the Inferno Dragon, or at least the health that matters on the Inferno Dragon. In hindsight, I think I should have played the Archers a little lower, but I don't want the Executioner to get on tower, so I'm going to play the Archers to the side. I'm going to play Fire Spirits that I cycle to, and Prince to counter the Executioner. So overall, I feel like this game is already over. There's only 25 seconds left, so I'm just going to play a Balloon, play some pressure, see what he does, because if he has to go on the offensive, he won't have an elixir to properly defend. He doesn't defend properly anyways, and he tries to barrel on the left side, which makes no sense to me. He should have just gone on the right, but it Fire Spirits anyway, so it wouldn't have done anything, and the game wouldn't have really changed. I think having the second big spell really helped me there. If he had the Lightning and I had the Log, I guess it would have been a little easier, but I don't know. We would have had to see. He had a lot of Log bait cards. So that was it for the actual gameplay for this challenge. I hope you guys enjoyed. A few helpful tips and tricks. Just choose your word conditions wisely, and if you have the choice, always go for Hunter over Zappies. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hunter's a great card. See you, YouTube.